Now, reshuffling the chateau is a lot of fun. It's incredibly creative. And as you know, this marble is broken. And what we, the back of it, you can actually tell very often the age of a marble by the back. If it's very rough, it's really old. Let's just say 17th, 18th century. If it's smoother, it's most probably from the late Industrial Revolution, let's just say 1880, 1890. And then modern marble is completely smooth because it's all machine cut. So we have the option of tracing this and going to a brocanteur that we know to see if he has an antique marble that we really like, that we can then have cut to this dimension. And that's really, really exciting. So we're going to trace it now. And as you know, Stuart is very precise and I'm not, so he's going to take the lead on that.
Good morning from Colombe. It's a beautiful day, really amazing clouds. It's a little nippy, but it's sunny, so it's lovely. Have a bit of a hiccup with our current gîte because partially the electrics just failed yesterday, and our renter's lovely French woman with two of her daughters and and niece, they're very lovely and understanding, because it's just not that easy to get anyone to come on a weekend day. So we have to carry on in the gîte, which I will do now. And of course, I have my dogs cannot possibly wait to get in here because they might miss something. And we're going to do a bit of a garden walk and talk, because we are having plans for the gardens. And let's see how that all turns out, for the gardens in the back and the front. So let's see how that all works out. So we've never been this far ahead in the garden. So we did some work while we're working on the gîte, doing other things. It's great. So let us show you where we are in the garden of this year. So there is new stuff coming. So we were going to shrink the tree, but it's going to be stronger.
Yeah.
So the dead things, I mean, like, this is completely dead.
Right. That can go completely.
We're going to take that out in now, because it's dead.
Yes.
And there is really, really strong. And of course, these are two right next to each other. You leave one, you take out the other, because otherwise they cramp the space. This one not doing so well. We need to take that out. So, but it's definitely rejuvenating, which is what we needed.
Yes, and this is really great here, where this is where it had broken off before, when it got so heavy.
Well, in the storm, yes.
Yes, and in the storm, and it broke off, and we have all that beautiful new branches that are coming from that same stem, which is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, that's of course my favorite peach tree, because it has these wonderful dark red or blood red peaches. It makes the most delicious jams. So, in good old Patrick fashion, it doesn't look like much, but so I did a lot of weeding here today and clearing out stinging nettles and all. This was the bed that Jane did last year, and it looked lovely. And then we planted some more of the currants. So this is white currants, black currants, and pink currants. So that's because we have a big red currant right there. Look at that bush, isn't that fantastic? Anyway, so this was so overgrown. So on the wall you have raspberries. We have raspberries. That's one rhubarb, and then there are strawberries. You couldn't see the strawberries because they were overgrown. I mean, these piles, when you look at them, they were huge, and I'm really happy that this is all done. In the process, I lost the trowel. It will be found, but it's very funny. And now we can actually clean that out in the front and keep it mowed, which will help. And then let's just show you, for example, in here, that is ivy that grows out the wall and has a raspberry in, a bramble in it as well. Absolutely horrid. You can cut this back. It will bloom. I mean, sprout again and again. So, yeah, lovely. So it's a bit depressing, but other things are just, I mean, this is really, really nice, and I'm happy that this is now cleaned out. So 2 artichokes.
Okay, so let's talk about garden.
Yes, the back park at the Chateau. And I was able to finally get the drone up high enough on a good day to actually get a nice clear photo of the back park of the Chateau.
And it is remarkable. I mean, we have this plantain tree or sycamore. It is so old. It's remarkable. And before we bought the Chateau, it lost 7 trees that were between 250 and 350 years old. So
yeah, unfortunately,
never saw them.
Yeah, and the stumps are still there, unfortunately, for most of those, which is a sort of a pain right now for us.
No, you know, we're actually master stump removers.
We have done that before.
We
yes.
did that in our property in Woodstock.
Yeah.
And one day we did grind 56 stumps, and one of them was from a cherry. It was about 250 years old. It was so big, it just took 3 times to position the grinder. It was amazing.
It was gone though.
Yes.
So we can do it. You know,
Yes.
It's just yet another job that has to be done, right?
It's easy.
Right.
Just go get the grinder.
So one of the interesting things that why we wanted this view from so high up is that we were able to get that alignment that we wanted from the center of the Chateau straight through the back of the park. Because we have things that we want to make sure are lined up all the way back, which one of which is already there is a small water feature that we're going to be putting in.
Yes.
And Patrick was pretty much dead on with the center of where that center was. So that was a great job with that.
It's I'm off by, I'm not kidding, this much on a huge scale. I mean, this is 10 acres. And the other thing I did was mowing certain areas. So it looks like a parterre, which is basically a garden that Le Notre designed for Versailles and before Versailles for Vaux-le-Vicomte. And so this we are going to let grow out, and there are now seeds in there. All wildflowers.
Wildflower seeds.
So
yes.
it's for bees and butterflies, so that's fantastic. And come summer, we're not mowing any of the back, well, that's not true. We're going to mow pathways through it.
Correct.
But so it's all going to be wild with flowers and for pollinators and butterflies and birds.
Right. And the idea is that we want this to look like a beautiful Chateau park, but it has to be done in a way that's manageable for the two of us to be able to do it. We can't do a really elaborate, ornate, formal garden. So, and I think that
Come on, you can do it.
And I think Patrick's solution is great to do things where we have, large patches of wildflowers and grasses that we let grow, and then you just, when you do your mowing, you're mowing through areas, and that is giving the impression of pathways just like there would be in a formal garden. So,
Yes.
and that's much easier for us to maintain something like that.
Excuse me, I'm still kind of getting over my cold. Anyways, so on the left, we have our big hangar. We have stables, a huge barn, and then the vacherie, where the cows and the heifers were. Cows and calves, heifers were here. The donkeys were here, so it's interesting. And then, of course, we have the beautiful pigeon tower,
Right.
the pigeonnier, that needs its roof fixed when we can afford it.
Right. Yeah. It's a beautiful structure and one of the oldest ones on the property, and we just can't afford to put a roof back on it. Right now.
Not right now.
No.
So we have our alignment now, and that's going to be interesting because we want to put a feature on the wall of the vacherie,
Right.
and on the other side, completely in parallel, Is it parallel? I think it's parallel.
Yes. Parallel
Is going to be
parallel.
our Marie Antoinette, which we have in our dining room. It's not where she was supposed to be,
Right.
but she looks lovely in that space right now, and we're going to put her outside where she was at another chateau.
That's right. She was an outdoor garden ornament.
And she will have a trellis around her because that's that's going to look really, really nice.
Right.
And that's going to be a whole alignment.
It is. You're
Wow.
going to look out the back of the chateau into the park, and you're going to see the small water feature that we're going to do, and we're getting an actual basin. Right.
Yes, it's going to have a little pond around it.
Right, and then when you go left, you will have one feature to the left and then one feature to the right. And then just beyond that, we are hoping to put in sort of a double gate, a large gate, before you go into the very back part of the park.
Yes,
Right.
and there's not going to be a fence around left or right. It's just completely
It's a
ornamental.
visual gate.
Yes. So it separates what was always called the park from the fields, and it is so much to do in the back that we want to keep it really, really simple. And then of course, because we have the old postcards and pictures, we want to separate what is here the potager from the park.
Right. And it was separated before, and when we found it was the old slides that we found.
Yeah.
That I developed. And we found out that there were actually 3 gates that went into the kitchen garden. The center one was a double with double pergola
Yeah,
going through.
really pretty.
And then there was also one to the right of it and one to the left of it that were more pedestrian gates to go through.
Well, 3 meters is
Right.
like 9 feet. It's not
Right.
really pedestrian,
And
but they're
again-
on each end.
Right, they were on each end, and again, they both had posts and basically a little mini pergola going over them. So we talked about that before, and yes, we would like to put those back in as well, along with we're planning on fencing in then the whole kitchen garden.
Yes.
Right.
Which will, the former kitchen garden, which will be a ginormous dog run. So they're going to be more most of the time in the back. And we will fence off actually our kitchen garden because someone actually asked us why we did that in Woodstock as well. Why do you fence off your kitchen garden? Honestly, we absolutely adore our dogs, and I don't want to live without them. But I do like my vegetables not peed on.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Or trampled or laid on or anything, right? So, yes. So one other thing that we want to mention is what we're doing directly behind the back of the chateau.
Yes.
So there were several photos that we had. One was from the recent photo album, the postcard album that we got. And again, from the slides that we found here, where there did used to be quite a large graveled area that was right behind the chateau.
Yes, it's basically a gravel, condensed gravel patio, and it was quite large. We are not going to reinstate it that as large.
Not as large, no.
But it will be, behind the chateau, will be crushed gravel, and which will really separate everything. And we might, if we can, build a very short retaining wall to keep the grass at bay.
Right. Yes, and that is also the final location of what we're going to have for the large planters that we currently have around the fountain.
Yes.
That was always our intention when we got those large planters, that they would be used back here for this back area of the chateau.
It's very exciting, and it's, I don't know, May, June, we will work on the fountain in the front, on the garden around it. So it's going to be a parterre, like Le Notre design for Vaux-le-Vicomte, Versailles, but it's going to be one parterre, and that's it around the fountain, and that has been done for almost 400 years. So it's very classical. That will center our courtyard in the front. And in the back, we will have this much more simple.
Right, right. And the work that we're doing in the front courtyard around the fountain, that is something that we are hoping that we're going to be doing in more of the immediate future, while what we've told you about here is like more of a long-term plan of things that we're going to be, right?
August, right?
August of what year? Of what year? No. Yeah, so we've thought about this a lot. This is definitely our plan. This is something that once this is implemented, we know that we can manage it. And that was what was most important to us, is what can we do here that helps to beautify the chateau that we can manage.
And that brings it back to what the chateau was 120, 130 years ago. Because we know that in the time of Napoleon I, everything in the entire back of the chateau was there to produce vegetables and fruit. There was a huge orchard with hundreds of trees, because this was a chateau with, well, over 50 people worked right on this property. So the chateau had to sustain itself. Therefore, there was a lot of food production, and it had that around us, what we see used to belong to the chateau in any direction.
Yeah. So we're very excited about that. This whole idea. Yes, and we hope you are too.
We do love the back of the chateau. It's really, really pretty.
It is, and this is where all of our beautiful sunsets are in this direction. It's absolutely beautiful.
But not far behind us, it's what they call the park ends. And then beyond that, it's the fields. And just imagine there are 30 people working on these vegetable gardens every day, spring to fall. Well, and the what is it called where the fruit trees are?
Orchard?
Orchard.
That.
Sorry. So it's really, really fascinating. We're discovering more and more of the history of the chateau. We know that the foundation of our chateau go back to the 12th century. Now we do know.
We do know that, yes.
So it's really fascinating. And if you want to support us in the restoration of the chateau and the park, you can join us on Patreon. Subscribe.
Yes, and we will see you next week, and hope you all have a great weekend.
Happy weekend.
Au revoir.
Just say goodbye.
If you enjoyed this video, please use the like feature to let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Journey to the Chateau YouTube channel if you would like to see more. Once you've subscribed, you can tap the notification bell in order to ring it, which will allow you to receive all notifications from our channel. Thank you.